we want to thank our sponsor. We wouldn't be able to do this without RE/MAX, so we just have a short little video to say thank you. This is Cassidy, who I actually saw last night. What a great little video. So thank you very much, RE/MAX, for sponsoring this event, this webinar. And of course, if your brokerage also wants to do something similar, let me know. Okay, so if you want to ask questions in your Zoom, this is called a Zoom webinar, there's a little chat feature. Please feel free to ask questions. And also, you can unmute yourself. I think you have the ability, if at any time you're like, what's she talking about? And you have a question. I always say this about webinars is I hate doing these things just talking. I like interaction because it makes it more fun for me. So good morning, everybody. And please ask questions, unmute yourself if you like. And of course, if it gets too much, we'll have Ray monitor it, but usually it's fine. So you guys are all shy, right? Oh, hold on. It is not allowing me to stream. So can you just bear with me 1 minute so I can restart that Facebook session, because I got to post on mine. And next, I'm just going to say, yeah, I mucked that up. All right, so now it is going live on Facebook. Pretty cool technology, right? We can go live on a webinar that you guys are in, and then I can also stream it to Facebook. If this all works well. Okay, live. I'm just going to say live webinar. Okay, go live. Okay, perfect. I think that is now going to, yep. Nice. Now I have to get back to my, yes, sorry you guys. Any questions while I'm waiting just for this to start? Nobody has questions? You're just going to sit and listen to me. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're back here. Ask questions. Let's get started. First off, I know not everybody knows me, so I'll just quickly tell you a little bit about myself. Really, you know, I'm just going to whip through this because I want to get to the good stuff. But basically, I have been doing this for, since the mid-90s, information technology, email, wireless devices when they came out, how everything integrates. And specifically for agents, I don't even know, 7, 8 years, something like that. I could be helping any small business, really, any entrepreneur with systems and setup, but because this guy, that's me, you can see me, that guy's my husband, and I started looking at his stuff when he started in the industry saying, how do CRMs work with your email? How do we get things to be better and syncing and talking so it makes your job easier? And then it just kind of snowballed. So I now speak all across North America. Any agents going to Realtor Quest in Toronto in May? I have 3 sessions there. One is going to be this one. So come say hi. Let me look at your stuff and see how we can fix it. But when I was looking at Terry's, his systems were kind of like that bottom up, right? And I wanted to make it better for him, and now I see that most people don't have their system set up properly. So the goal for me today is to stop you driving on those wheels that'll get you there, but it's frustrating. You waste a lot of time because your systems are set up. And I look at it from top down and how things should be set up within your system. So let's get to the nitty-gritty about this. So one of the things is almost everybody owns a domain. Does everybody own a domain? Actually, there you go. Do you have a website? You own a domain. So if you own a domain, yes, Ray, and Ray, pipe in anytime anyone has a question, please. Or again, if you can unmute yourself, ask the question. But basically what I've noticed over the years is that most agents own a domain, right? So what happens with that domain, and I actually redid this whole presentation. I'm going to say the same thing multiple ways. I'm going to talk more about domains in a minute, but from the top down, it's you own a domain, and then this is where people muck up. They don't then use their name at their website.com, right? Does that make sense? And that's a huge issue. And I know that, here's the thing, most people don't understand why that's a huge issue. And hopefully, I sat and thought about this and thought, I'm going to redo this slide and try and make it so you understand it. I'm going to keep repeating this stuff until it gets into your head why this is so important, okay? So with every website that you have, or every email you have, whether it's a personal email, a Yahoo email, a Shaw email, TELUS, whatever, I'll talk about those in a minute, or it's a domain, a proper business email, every email address has contacts, calendar, email folders, and the ability to talk to devices, right? Makes sense? And so those all are run through the email address. And then you've got cloud storage, which might be iCloud, Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive. And again, they're all attached to an email address. And then we have your CRMs, and there's a gazillion of them. I only put just a few. So you have our CRMs, and this is the thing. They only will work, any CRM that I've ever tested will only work with a proper Google business email. Okay, so here's the thing also, what I found out over the years is that, so I would say I'm an IT person, right? And what I see happens is that either brokerages or an agent will go hire an IT person or an IT company, that they know IT, they don't know your business. And what I've made it is my business to know your business, right? Because that's all I do now. So I have tested CRMs and how they work and how they integrate. And if anyone's ever met me, you know I'm really particular about how things work because I want them to work for you properly. And so the easiest way for things to integrate is with a Google business email. They're more open rather than Microsoft Office 365 email. And I will talk about that in a little bit as well. Okay. Any questions?
We have one from Alan.
Yeah.
I'm transitioning to Liondesk. I love it, but still working on the syncing. So the contact comes up when they call. Right now, I think I have to use the LD app. Have you had any experience with Liondesk syncing?
I have to actually go look at that sentence again because that didn't make sense. Just a sec. I'm transitioning. I love it, but it's still working on syncing on the contacts come up when they call. Right now, and I think I have to use LD app, Liondesk app. Yes, I have. So the question is, so basically, that's a great question. So we've got Top Producer, Realty Juggler, Exact, Liondesk. There's a whole bunch. I actually have Liondesk in another one when I'm going to try and explain this in a different way. I believe that Liondesk does have this integration with Google Apps. And I will talk about this. So Alan, at the end of this, or when I start talking about that, if I haven't answered your question, can you ask it again or even unmute yourself? That would be fantastic. I want you guys to get great value out of these webinars. And so, and I'll actually, Ray, if you can put in my Facebook group, there's a closed group there. You can always ask after there as well, and I'll answer. So Ray, I'll put the information there. Let's keep going here. So again, you have to understand that if you own a domain, you can have a yourname@yourwebsite.com. Okay. So, and all these things integrate with it. What I see agents do is that you're all over the map, right? You might have a Yahoo account and then a Gmail account and a Shaw account or two other ones. Or I've seen everything under the sun. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with just one email account. Do you feel that? You hear what I'm saying, right? So, and what happens with that, again, every email account comes with this middle line, right? The contacts, calendar, email, folder structure. And then you've got it all on your device and your laptop and your Mac mail and all that stuff. And people get confused with the terminology. So I'm going to explain the terminology. And hopefully, at least by the end of the session, this is my thing. I want you to have a better, smoother ride with technology because some of it's really frustrating, right? I mean, I'm always testing things and I can't imagine you're trying to do the best job you can be as a real estate agent and then you got to do this technology. So I actually do the technology. I look at it for you so you can understand it. So I don't want you to feel like this, like you want to throw your iPad out the window or your computer. And so I will let you know at the end of this that I will give you a special offer if you need help where I can look at your system. So Alan, that might be helpful. Look at your system, look at your CRM, look at your devices. The devices are really, really important and I will talk about that. And I also have an online school. I think we do a draw today. Now I don't know if I moved the slide. I think we're doing a draw at the end of this, so stay tuned. Yeah, I did move the slides around, so just a sec. Okay, here's the slide. I used to have it up further. All right, so you're going to get a PDF if you want of this. Happy to share. Ray will give you the slides. I will also, give someone a one-year membership. It's a $450 value at the very end of this webinar, and you're going to get some specials. If you want to, you can go to darcitalks.tip/webinar and sign up, and you'll get the info. And otherwise, you do have to be here for the draw for the school, okay? So I talk about this all the time, about how much time, and I actually think how much time you waste, because you know this, I teach a DocuSign course at our board here, and it really is like, how much time do you waste driving around, going to get files, you forgot something, you got to go back, when everything really is available on your little device, or your tablet, or your Surface Pro, or whatever you have that is with you, right? So I want you to understand the value of that today. And so we did a little kind of mini survey, 20 minutes a day of wasting it. That's 15 days a year. I think it's more than that, but we'll be conservative that it's 15 days a year, which you waste about $6,000. And I actually think it's more than that. But again, we're being conservative. And over 10 years, it's $60,000 wasted of your time. Do you hear me? Okay, because your systems aren't set up properly. And I do know how important this is for you guys, because like I said, I help agents, and I've had agents cry after they've seen that you're on your device. Say, okay, well, now that it's set up, open that file up on your phone. Oh yeah, and update a contact on your phone, and then we go to the CRM and that contact's updated. Do you feel how unbelievable that is, and how much it's like, oh my gosh, like the sky opens up, right? It's so exciting, and I'm still excited about sharing with you how to get this set up properly. All right, that's my whole goal today, is for you to understand that. So again, we're going to stop driving on those square wheels. So let's talk about this in a different way. So again, you got the domain, and I'm going to talk about domains in a minute again. But you also then have your name at yourwebsite.com. Once you own a domain, you can have that email address. And I don't mean you use that email address to forward to another email address. You actually use that email address, okay? So I think, I don't know, is Shirley on here? Shirley son, you know what, I'm always learning from agents as well, because I know sometimes this technology is a bit confusing. And one of my clients said to me while I was trying to explain how things work, she said, oh, you mean that's kind of like the headquarters? And I went, oh my goodness, I'm going to use that, because yeah, it is like the headquarters. So thank you, Shirley, because I say this all the time now. So let's say your email is like the headquarters, okay? It is true. It is like your headquarters. And then you have, where do you host the headquarters? You have two big players with business email. You can pay Microsoft Office 365 a fee a month to host your email, or you can pay Google with their G Suite platform to host your email. Does that make sense? So really, there's other ways, but I'm going to say these are the two big players in the game for us. All right, so here's the issue that I hear all the time with people that say, oh, no, I use Microsoft. And then I look and like they don't really use Microsoft. So I wanted to explain what that meant, okay? So Microsoft, and I hate that they call everything the same thing, Microsoft Office 365. But there's different versions of Microsoft Office 365. So you could just have been paying for their software, their applications, right? Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access. Does anyone use Access anymore? I don't even know. I don't. But Outlook is just, and I'm going to talk about this, Outlook is only a viewer of that headquarters. You can use Outlook to look at Gmail or Yahoo or Shaw or TELUS, AOL. Do we have any of my American friends here? I think you guys still have a lot of AOL people, right? So that's all that is. It's software that you download. It's third-party software you download on your Mac or your PC. Does that make sense? Then they also have a product where you can get the software, the applications, but they'll also host your email. Two different things, right? So I always say, so who hosts your email? Is it Office, Microsoft Office 365, or is it Google, or is it somebody else? Because if it's not Office or Microsoft or Google, usually you're going to have problems. And the other thing that Microsoft does is that you could just use their business email and OneDrive, which is their cloud storage. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So when people say, when I say, what's your email? And they say Outlook, usually people just mean they're using Outlook to view the headquarters. And what's the headquarters? Does that make sense? Any questions? Because I really want you to understand the terminology when you're talking to people, okay? And understand that it's only a viewer of the headquarters. Outlook is only a viewer, okay? So let's talk about that. These are other viewers. So again, I don't know, I don't even care if it's Hotmail, Yahoo, Outlook. I'm going to say why you shouldn't be using those, okay? But I want you to understand what you're using on your devices, whether it's your PC or Mac or your iPhone or iPad or Android or whatever you're using, okay? You could be using Outlook to view the email. You could be using MacMail to view the email. You could be on your phone, and you could be using the native email app on your phone. Okay, that first icon is Apple Mail. You could have downloaded a Gmail app to view the email. You could download Microsoft Outlook app to view your headquarter email, whatever your email is. Does that make sense? You could only use a browser to view your email, but your headquarters is still your headquarters. You could be using all these different things to view the stuff that's up in the headquarters. Any questions? We're still good? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now, here's the thing that I see people have problems with, all right? So this is really important stuff. I want you to really pay attention to this, because if you have any of these problems, it's because your email is set up incorrectly, all right? And it happens, I'm going to say, I've never, ever, ever worked with an agent where the stuff's set up properly. So that tells you something, right? So let me just flip down. I just want to get to the right spot here. Yeah, okay, I am here. Okay, you're ready. So this happened recently where an agent came and said they followed up with an agent about a property that they viewed last week, and they wanted to make an offer. And the agent said they sent them an email to tell them that they had received an offer. Did they want to participate? That agent never got the email. So how much money might you have lost on that? That's a huge thing. Like my heart just went out to the agent, and it's because the email, here's the thing, I don't know how you guys are set up, but there's something that's called role-based emails. So info at, hi Terry. Terry just scared me because he was supposed to be gone all morning. He just walked in. I'm like, who's breaking in? Info at, I'm just trying to think now, he's flustered me. Info at, there's like 5. If you Google role-based email addresses, those you shouldn't use. Info is a big one, because when those emails go from server to server to server, they're called role-based emails, where they know they're not a personal, like someone's own email, like Gord at or Darci at. It's info at, and it's very common for those ones to get into spam, not go through. I would never, ever, ever recommend anybody use a role-based email. Okay, there's ways to fix it that if you have got it out there that you can change it and still get emails from that. But please be very careful about role-based emails. Any questions? You know, you guys, I know you guys are so too quiet. All right. The other thing that you might have problems with is that you have a free account, right? And so you're not paying for it. I can almost guarantee if you're having a free account that, again, comes with email and contacts and calendar, your perception is bad for your clients, okay? So I'm going to talk about this a little bit later too, but you know, what looks better? Joe Blow, 1978 Realtor at yahoo.ca or .com, or Joe at joesellstoronto.com. What looks better? Like, I don't even have, you know what looks better. So why are you using the emails that are Yahoo, Shaw, TELUS, AOL, at me, at iCloud, at, I can't even, but you know what it is, right? All the Hotmail. Oh my goodness, Hotmail. I'm not even going to talk about Hotmail. Okay, so you also want to make sure, again, that you're using a proper business email, like these ones, Best Agent Ever at iCloud, Emily Brown at TELUS. TELUS and Shaw, I don't know if there's any TELUS and Shaw people. worst emails ever. And I have to talk a little bit about how the technology has changed, okay? So they were awesome before, and they're free. So they freeze. A lot of these come with your internet provider, right? So we don't want to buy or use internet provided emails, because maybe you want to move off Shaw or TELUS or whoever your internet provider is, right? Does that make sense? And then you're stuck. And here it is. And without getting into too many, complicated things, how it works, but there's POP and IMAP email, right? So what happens with those old email type of accounts is that if you set it up on your phone, and each one's different, but let's just say, for example, and you'll know why your stuff isn't working. Let's just say, for example, I set it up on my phone and I have a POP or IMAP account. It'll download all my emails to my phone, but when I delete off my phone, it doesn't delete off everywhere else, because all it's doing is bringing the stuff down to locally work. Bring it on your computer to locally work. And so things don't actually talk to each other. The only ones that will talk to each other, really, for business setup is Microsoft Office 365 or Google Business G Suite. That's it. The other ones you should not be using, all right? It's such a problem. The other one that I see all the time is that agents will use their brokerage email. Now, there's a couple problems with this, and I really don't recommend using it. And one is, and I know, you might think that you're going to stay with whoever you're with forever, but I know that that's not reality, because usually people are coming to me after and saying, okay, I'm switching, what do I do? So one of the things is, maybe it's not a real email address. It's only what we call a forwarder. And you're forwarding it to your Shaw account or your TELUS account, right? So here's a problem with forwarding anything. There may be a delay in receiving. And in this fast-paced world, we don't want delays, right? And then the other thing is, and I think this is even worse, is that if your brokerage provides you with an actual email address, and some of them actually, this kills me, some of the brokerages, because they don't get it, is that they've set it up with Microsoft Office 365, and they say, come, here's our free email that you can get with us. So with that free email, they own it. You don't own it. So if they're nice, which I hope they are, that you can get your data and your emails and your contacts and your calendars back if you ever leave, but it's theirs. They're paying for it. They've given it to you. It's their data. So it really, like, I have tried to help agents, like, are they going to allow you to migrate your email? Usually I'm going to say usually yes. But think about it. You should be using your name at yourwebsite.com. Doesn't matter when you switch brokerages. Does that make sense? Any questions? No questions. You guys are such a quiet group. Okay, really no questions? Okay. Let me just see here. Okay, we're going to keep continuing on. Okay. Again, we're going to talk about domains. We're going to talk about business email. We're going to talk about cloud storage, and we're going to talk about your CRM. All right. Anybody using a CRM out there? Actually, here's a question for you guys. If you are using a CRM or not, just to say no in the chat box, or let me know what you're using. I'd love to know. Okay.
Oh, by the way, Darci, we have a question.
Yes.
Which version of G Suite should we be using?
So I don't really get that question. It's a great question, but G Suite keeps up to date. So there is no version of G Suite. So you'll get links to everything that I've talked about. And I have on my page, darcitalks.com, on resources, I have a link for you to go set up G Suite. So it's always up to date. Like this is the beautiful thing, I think, about how things work nowadays, is most stuff is working up with the cloud. So even Microsoft, okay, their Outlook and Word and Excel, if anyone's using those, they're software on your computer, but they're always checking and keeping it up to date. Where the old days, do you remember the old days, 5-6 years ago, right? You'd have to buy the software, and then you'd have to go and download the updates, right? And even like Windows updates and Mac updates, they're all done up in the cloud. So I don't know if I answered your question, because there isn't really a current version. They just keep it up to date. Let me know if that didn't answer your question, or maybe I didn't understand the question. Okay, great.
I think Darci, he's asking for the levels of pricing.
Oh, pricing. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So with Google's G Suite, I will say, and their pricing is just going up. And you know what? I don't even care. And it's not much anyhow. It's okay. So actually going up, I think it went up. It was April. I think it's now. So I actually don't know the pricing. I think it went from $5 to $7 and then from $10 to $12 or $13 a month, something like that. So what? Because here's the thing. If any of you guys out there have ever had before, you'd have to buy a server, have IT people set it up. You'd have to have someone administer it and keep it up with updates and all that. Servers are very expensive. You would have spent tens and thousands of dollars to be able to run your business like you can run your business now for 13 bucks a month. Like it's, you know, I think it's unbelievable. So the question is, there's two plans. There's a basic plan and a business plan. I tell everybody get the business plan. For the $13 a month, the difference is, you can Google what's the difference between the plans, and they do a comparison. But really the difference is size. Size, you get team drives with the business plan, and you also get a terabyte of data. Enormous, right? Enormous amount of data. The other one you don't get as much, and I think if you're not using Google Drive properly, then you're using way more than 30, I think it's 30 gigs that they give you for free. That makes sense? Any other questions before I go on?
Oh, Dean's clarifying which one we should be using. Is it the
business plan, more expensive plan, which is like 13 bucks a month, by far. Okay, by far. Because what I always recommend is that and you'll see this as we talk about it. I don't recommend Microsoft. I recommend the download of the software if you want to use Outlook and Word and Excel, and you can. But I don't recommend using Microsoft's email because it doesn't integrate with your CRMs as cleanly and as easily as Google's G Suite does. All right. So Google's G Suite is there's again, and the support. I did a whole blog. Ray, can you find the blog I did and put it in here? I did a whole blog about Microsoft and Google, the difference in my opinion. Excuse me, in my opinion. One is support. Google support is, in my opinion, way better. And also the integration is like, that's just worth it right there. Okay. So you can go at any time, go to darcitalks.com. You can go to resources. If you want more detailed stuff about what I'm talking about, or at a slower pace where you can pause the video, sign up for my tech tips for agents. You'll always be notified, and you get access to the free video series for agents. Okay. Okay. So let's talk again. We're going to talk again because I want you to really understand this. Actually, is there anybody new that actually hasn't got a domain yet? I'd be really curious to know, because there's some kind of cool new stuff that I just found out about yesterday. You ready? And you might want to know, even if you already have one, you might want to go buy a domain. Okay, so first you have to choose your name, right? And so here's the thing. What do you use? .ca.com, and here's a new one, .homes. So actually, we just went and bought, I don't know if they're on the webinar, I went and talked to these guys that started this in January to have the extension called .homes. And so we went and bought one yesterday as well. We're not quite using it yet because we just did it yesterday, but think about that you can also have blah, 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 .homes rather than .com or .ca. That's a kind of a cool new thing, right? So you can, you got to figure out a name, and I'm going to talk about that in more detail, but their website is get.homes.com. No, not .com. Get.homes. So if you want to go buy a domain, you can go to get.homes. Okay. And I think it's in US pricing. I'm not sure. Yeah, when we bought it off GoDaddy, it was in US pricing. So we're a little shocked. The poor Canadians. Do we have any of my US friends out there? Poor Canadians, our dollar's horrible right now. Like, it's really bad. Okay, so you get a domain, you go to the registrar, you pay for or lease a domain name, right? So you go to GoDaddy or Bluehost or get.homes. Am I right? Are they here? I don't know if I'm saying that right now because I don't have it right in my head. Let me just see if anyone's saying anything. No, maybe they're not on here. Anyhow, you can buy the .homes at GoDaddy as well, but they did say not at Bluehost. right now. So step one, step two, right? And then what are you going to do? Well, you got to host your website somewhere. So my American friends, they're at Reliance. It might be on a Remax. It might be Realty Ninja, Ubitor, MyRealPay. There's a gazillion hosters out there, right? There's a gazillion real estate website people that you can pay money and host your website. Does that make sense? Most people have this part covered. You got me? It's this next part that you don't have covered. So you have the domain, but then you're not setting it up. The two big players, again, two big players don't like Office 365. I already explained why. I would always recommend Google. And here's the thing about domains. Do you own your, use your own name like this or Terriosti? Some names are hard, right? So it's going to be hard for people to search for you because if that's Marnie, I just made that up. But if that's, it's a tough name, right? Or do you use something like an area code, a phone number, a more generic name like 604homes.com or 6717000.com or housesinvancouver.com, or I didn't update this slide, or maybe just 604.homes, right? Or your phone number .homes. So who I was talking to yesterday who just got this extension is that it's possible it might be better when people search because the .homes is in your email or in your email address and your website. So that is fantastic. The other thing that I see a lot of agents, again, I'm helping agents all the time, and one of the things I look at is their website. Is it mobile friendly? Is it current theme? If your theme, my friends, is not using the whole real estate of the page, then you're probably on an old theme and you need to get it up to the new theme and make sure it's mobile friendly. If your site is not mobile friendly, and Ray, it's on my resources, there's a link in my resources that there's a link there to go find out if your site's mobile friendly. If it's not mobile friendly, your site has not been indexed by Google since 2015. I don't even know what to say. Do you hear me? When people say it's not important to keep up with technology, it is so important to keep up with technology. Please, 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 if you don't even know what I'm talking about, call your web hoster, the company that's hosting your website, and ask them, okay? Ask them what's going on. Is your website mobile friendly? Is it at the current theme? What do you need to do? Does that make sense? No questions? No, we're good? Okay, I think we're good. Okay.
Oh, we actually have a comment from Scott.
Yes, hi, Scott.
He says, if you register at Dynadot, it's only $10 for the first year. Plus, if you make a mistake, you have a few days to correct.
Oh, can I correct mine then? Hold on. Can you put the link in for everybody, or maybe Scott did? I want to correct mine because we paid way more than that just to get a one. No, it was a popular one. I'm not telling you yet. Okay. Okay, so put the link in there. So if you want to find out about the .homes extension, which is pretty cool, you guys. Okay. Okay, so let's talk now a little bit about cloud storage. I find that most people are actually a little bit confused about cloud storage. So what's the cloud? So the cloud is email, calendar, contacts, files, documents, anything that's on remote servers that up in this thing that we don't see, right? Really, that's what it is. And it's maintained and operated and managed by somebody, a cloud storage service provider. So it could be Microsoft, it could be Google, it could be Dropbox, depends on what you're using, right? So basically it's just something up in that headquarters, right? The headquarters, and we're allowing our computers to access it, our iPhones, our iPads, our Androids to access it. That makes sense? In really simplified terms, that's what it means, okay? So we want to store, we can store stuff, we can retrieve stuff, and we can share stuff. And that is where the email address is so key, because we store stuff that's attached to that email address, we retrieve stuff that's attached to that email address, and we can share stuff attached to that email address. So even, you know, I do that DocuSign course with our board here, and it's even that. It's like people sign up for the DocuSign core, or not the DocuSign app, and they sign up with their Yahoo account or their iCloud account. That's the email that the documents for your business are being sent from. Does that make sense? It should always be the same darn email that you use, and it should be your business email, yourname@yourwebsite.com. Does that make sense? Right? It should not be the other email. You must represent yourself. Your signature should be consistent across all platforms. If you send an email, a business email to somebody, should it not say your business signature and not sent from my iPhone? Should you not mark it yourself rather than Apple? Right? Does that make sense? Like, I can't tell you how important it is. And it's not that hard to fix. Okay. So when your email is not set up properly, these are the issues. There's many other issues, but these are the issues that you're going to have. You have to access different emails on different platforms. Maybe you don't have something downloaded on your phone and you have to go to that laptop to get those emails, right? You hear me? You have your name at yourwebsite.com, but you aren't paying for it. If you're not paying for it, you only have it as a forwarding account, or it's a POP or IMAP old technology. Does that make sense? If you're not paying for it, it is not working properly. I can almost guarantee you that. Or you're using it, but you're forwarding it to your Yahoo or your Hotmail account. Why? You have the ability now to have it set up properly like a business for like $13 a month. It's so cheap. If ever you've imported your database into your CRM, it means your CRM is not integrated with your business email properly. Can you imagine a world where I was saying before, where you're using a CRM, whatever CRM you're using, and you go and you update a contact in your CRM, and 5 minutes later, it's on your phone? How much time does that save you? When Joe phones you, it says that Joe's phoning you, right? Like you can, hey Joe, you don't have to say, who is this? Because everything is talking to each other. It updates Outlook and Macmail and Webmail, your phones, your tablets, your CRM, and vice versa, right? Am I the only one? I'm always the only one that gets excited about this. Okay. If you ever say that word import, you have a problem. If you have multiple email addresses that you're having to manage, how confusing. And I know you're saying, well, I want to keep those personal ones. No, you don't need to. You do not need to have personal emails. Why? Everything that I do, with the exception, I have test email accounts I do not give out. I have test, because I test stuff for you guys. I have test accounts. But if I'm sending an email to my mom, I'm sending it from my business email. Why not? And all my contacts and my calendar appointments are all attached to my business email, not my iCloud account. Apple messes people up, my friends. If you don't know that, you should log on to your iCloud.com on a browser and go see how many contacts are stored there. It's Apple specific. I say stop it. Everything should be in Google, which is agnostic. They don't care what type of phone you have. Totally doesn't matter. And have the contacts all talk to each other. Make sense? What I see, because I said before that you have an email address and then you've got contact. We'll talk about just contacts, okay? An email address and you got contacts. You have another email address and you have contacts. You have another email address and you have contacts. And what I see over and over again, people will say, well, no, I don't have contacts in there. And I'll go, okay, I don't, not that I don't believe you, but I don't believe you. Let's log on and see. And they're like, oh yeah, that's my contacts, because they don't realize where stuff is being saved, right? It's usually saved all over the map. And what I say is like, well, stop doing that. You get all your contacts up to your headquarters, your name at yourwebsite.com, run off Google's G Suite. Fair enough? Okay. Again, if you're having problems that updating contacts and calendars across all platforms doesn't work because you don't understand where you're saving your stuff to, okay? Okay, the other issue is email in the cloud is that you manage multiple databases of contacts and leads. How frustrating, right? One set of contacts or leads. That's your gold. That's all you need to manage. Not an Excel spreadsheet, you import them into your CRM. They should be your contacts. So if Joe phones you, it's on there. The notes are on there. You update Joe's email address or phone number. It goes everywhere. Make sense? Okay.
Darci, we have a question from
Yes.
Do I really want hundreds and hundreds of contacts on my phone that I entered in a CRM? Some I may never convert.
I don't know why, Ray, but I can never hear you properly. You come in and out. Just a sec. Do I really want hundreds of my phone that I entered in my CRM? Send my mail. Why not? Your phone doesn't care. So do you care whether you have 3,000 contacts on your phone, right? Or 5? It doesn't matter. If you go to phone that one person, they're there. It doesn't matter. If you update somebody on here, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can't tell you. It does not matter. I fixed my iPhone signature at the RE/MAX convention. Yay! Good. Fix your iPhone signature, your Android signature, your Gmail signature. Please do that. Okay, you read an email, it shows unread elsewhere. You move an email in a folder and it doesn't move on your other platforms, right? So you're like, you're doing things 3 times because it's not talking to each other. It's not set up. It's that old POP and IMAP setup, okay? Again, I can't say enough. If your email is free, then you really need to run your business like you're actually a business owner and have a proper business email. Free emails are absolutely horrible. And yeah, okay, enough said. I think I said that a couple times. Okay, so let's talk about that's the email side, about the cloud storage side, where we're talking about files and folders and music and videos and pictures and everything that is actually kind of physically sitting on your computer. So this is, again, what I see over and over again is that you can't pull up that important file on your wireless device, right? You're out and about, and if anybody ever had to drive back to go get a file, well, you don't have to do that anymore. If your systems are set up properly, you just pull up the file on here. You can send a document. You can do DocuSign from your mobile device. Because if you saved a document in the proper folder structure on your computer and you're out and about, you can either open up DocuSign and get that file, or you can open up the file and send it up to DocuSign for signing. Can you imagine like how that is life-changing? It's life-changing, okay? Have you ever had to drive back to home or office to get a file? Well, Vancouver is huge, and I don't know where you guys are, but it's a long ways to drive out from one area to another to go get that file, right? Oh dear, if you fax documents, you don't have to fax documents anymore. There's online faxes, actually. No one even needs to have a fax machine anymore. You attach individual documents to emails rather than the clickable links. Now, still you can do that. That's not a problem. But when we're talking about HOA documents or strata docs, 2 years worth of documents in one email, you'll never be able to do it because emails don't, certain email servers have attachment sizes. So you might have to send 5 emails. Do you hear me? When nowadays, all you have to do is send a link to that folder with the information, with all the information that you need to give, okay? And that's for personal stuff too. Oh, downtown Vancouver, you guys hear that? Beep, beep. For personal stuff too, with my family, we have a shared folder that anyone wants to put a video in there, pictures of their kids or whatever, we actually can see it all. So we should have a shared folder, which makes sense, right? So the other thing I see all the time is that you download Dropbox or Google Drive or all cloud storage and you only use a little bit of each one. Well, how confusing is that? Pick a lane, right? And again, I would suggest, because with the $13 Google email, business email, you get way more than I'm talking about, but you get the business email, contacts, calendar. They don't work for Google. I love them. You get Google Docs and all the other stuff, which I'm talking about in May. But you also get a terabyte of Google Drive, which is an enormous amount of storage for yourself, okay? So really, really important. Again, multiple cloud storage services. And this is one of the things that I get the question all the time, but I had an agent that sent me a link for Dropbox. Do you have to have it? No. If the agent sent it properly, you don't have to use the same platform as they have. You just download it to your proper folder structure, where whatever in Google Drive, iCloud, Dropbox, whatever you're using, you just download it to there. Does that make sense? Any questions? I see some flashing things, right?
Yeah, we have one. Google, all of this is in my Google G Suite subscription, correct?
Yep, you got it.
And then just some comments from Dean.
Yep.
Attorneys will use fax yet unless they have a secure portal for you to log in and upload.
Okay, hold on. Again, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. I gotta go look at it. Attorneys and lenders use fax unless they have a secure portal for you to log in and upload. So they can use that, but you don't have to use a fax to send it to them. Hopefully I answered your question. Google Drive can now be shared up to 5 family members. That depends, maybe yes, depends on which version. I think that's the free version of Google as well. They want you to use it. Okay, so hopefully I answered that question. Here's the kicker that hopefully will never happen to you, but I've got calls after the fact, is that if you are not using some sort of backups, because these are really kind of like backups, it's synchronization, whether it's Dropbox or iCloud or Google Drive or OneDrive. In my opinion, every single file, everything but software installs should be under a folder on your computer and syncing up to the cloud, because inevitably one day a computer's going to die. It happened to me, I don't know, a month ago, and it was horrible. It was horrible in the sense that I had a webinar and I didn't have a computer. I wasn't worried where you might be about my files. I know where my files are. They're up in that cloud, that headquarters. And so as soon as I got a new computer, I just, I use FileStream, which is Google Drive's another product. It brought all my stuff down and I was happy and good to go. And all my files came back. All I had to do is reinstall software. You have to think about that. If your computer dies right now, would you be hooped? If the answer is yes, you better get on setting up your systems properly, right? Because if your computer dies today and all your stuff is gone, that's going to be a sad day. And I had a client that came to me sadly after the fact, and he was very, very, very upset because his computer died. And he says, well, can I get it back? And I'm like, didn't have it set up like I had suggested. So no, the only thing he sent it to a forensic hard drive specialist. I believe it cost him something like $10,000. It was very expensive, and he got about a third of his stuff back. Like, it's sad, sad, sad. Where if it was set up like this, no problem. You just get a new computer, download your stuff. If you need something, it's on your phone, right? It's so exciting. It's on your phone. What I did, I actually just used Terry's computer, went and got the stuff I needed, go look at whatever. I'd go look at my emails, my contacts, my calendar. I could do everything on his computer. Everything, right? Until I got my own. Like, it's unbelievable. So it's so important to understand and be set up properly to save your sanity, right? So again, I'm going to explain this so you understand that there's kind of two different versions of cloud storage. There's the email side, where it's your emails and your email folders, your contacts, your calendar. And then there's this physical stuff on your computer, which is folders and documents and music and photos and everything that is not software installs, right? And everything should be sitting up in that cloud and be accessible on any device that you own. Make sense? Any questions?
Oh, we have one from Frank.
Oh, Ray, you gotta get a new, I can't hear you, just a sec. Is FileStream better than backup and sync, and is it hard to switch? That's a Frank. Hi, Frank. Sorry, I didn't see all the latecomers. Nice. Hi. So I don't think it's too hard to switch. So Google has two really cool products. One, backup and sync, which is Google Drive folder that's just like Dropbox and OneDrive and iCloud. It's an actual folder that sits on your computer and it syncs, right? So it's taking up physical hard drive space on your computer. FileStream is which I use. It doesn't matter the size of my hard drive because it's a virtual drive. So the beautiful part about it is if you're using backup and sync or Dropbox, whatever, like actually I'm working on a client's computer right now. We're just downloading backup and sync because that's what she wanted to use. So, excuse me, it's been sitting here for a week, just taking stuff from the cloud and bringing it to her computer, right? If she was using FileStream, all we do is download FileStream and it's there because it's not physically downloading and uploading to your computer. It's a virtual drive. I absolutely love FileStream. A issue that you might encounter, and I've never had a problem, but you have to have internet access to access things. And, oh, you guys have such good questions. And so I've always had internet access, but you can also say with this folder, I always want online or offline access. So maybe one or two folders that you really need to have. I have never, ever, ever had a problem. I've been using it, like I said, I think a year and a half or something. Does FileStream work to back up iPhones? So I don't really understand that question exactly, but I think what you mean, FileStream in the sense of I download Google Drive on mine. My Google Drive looks exactly this on my phone, looks exactly the same as yours if you're using backup and sync or FileStream. Exactly the same. There is absolutely no difference. Hopefully that answered your question, Dean, because I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Let's continue on. If it doesn't, please just let me know. Okay. Oh, hold on. Part B. What with FileStream is everything on your phone? Yeah, it's no different. File stream and backup and sync for the phone, absolutely no difference. The difference is how it works with a computer. And here's the thing that I think Google is so brilliant with, because I do think, mark my words, I don't know how soon this is going to happen, but you think about, you go buy a computer, what is the most expensive part of the computer? It's the hard drive size. So if that's irrelevant anymore, then computers are going to be a nominal fee, because you'll be using something like, I think Google is always the forefront leader of this kind of stuff, something like a virtual drive. So I have almost, oh my goodness, I have about 3/4 of a terabyte of data, but the computer I bought, I said, well, I'm using file stream, it's not really going to matter. I think it's a 500 gigabyte hard drive. Doesn't matter, because it's not actually using my hard drive. Does that make sense? Like, I think it's unbelievable. And I love that. I love file stream. Never had a problem. I think I answered your question, Frank Dean. Please, if not, type in more detail. All right, let's keep going. I've got 7 minutes. So we want the foundation. You guys as agents, you know, if your foundation on a house is broken, what happens? Right? Everything crumbles. And I think that, you know, it's not livable. So to talk about technology in your systems is the same thing. And I know that a lot of you are going, oh my gosh, yeah, I've got all these problems too. And it's fixable. Okay. So we're going to talk again about email addresses. So we've got, like, I've seen everything. These are fake ones, but, you know, AOL, Shaw, Yahoo, Gmail, or is it better to have joesells.com, justsold.com, dixieagents.homes, right? Or John at dixiehomes.com. Right? I mean, you know which one looks more professional. For sure, the right-hand side. Like, there's no way anyone's ever going to say the left-hand side does. Now, I'm going to also say that the best of the worst on the left-hand side is Gmail. I still don't recommend it, but a personal Gmail email, you get no support from Google, which is, you know, whatever. And with Google, again, you get, with a business email, you get support. Will it work and sync properly if set up? Yes. Not unlike Shaw and TELUS and AOL and other internet service provider emails and Yahoo and Hotmail. Those will not sync properly, generally speaking, okay? So I don't know how I can convince you, but you really need to have your business set up like a business for $13 a month and get all your stuff and send emails from a business email and not something that is your birth year in your darn email. Oh my goodness gracious. That's horrible. That's horrible in so many levels. One is for fraud. People now know your name, the year you're born. Like, that's bad. You never, ever, ever do that. Please, please. At the very least, if I can't convince you to actually set your business up like a business, please change your email to not have your birth year in it. Okay? So the other thing that there's some studies that have been done is that 75% of consumers say an email address matching your domain is critical for trust and professionalism. And also marketing yourself. If you sent me an email from one of those other ones, I probably would just ignore it. Well, I wouldn't, because I want to help you. But if it was a business, like if a lawyer sent me an email from his John the Lawyer 1973 at yahoo.com, or it's John at thelawfirm.com, whatever, right? Like, I don't know why we can't wrap our heads around that you are a business person and you got to run your business like a business. And plus, it's all the headaches that you will save, right? So again, there's the 2 platforms that you could use. I don't recommend Office 365. If you have multiple emails, I'm going to give you tips on what to do. Of course, I'm going to offer you to help. I'll work with you and at least give you some ideas in an hour-and-a-half session. Most agents actually work with me for a minimum of 10 hours. Does that sound like a lot of time to work with me? Right? But really what we do is I look at everything that you have. I look at your phone setup, your email setup, your Mac mail setup, your Outlook setup. How's it working? How are things flowing? What's going on? Why aren't things working? And we get it working. All right. But you'll get an offer for an hour and a half with me where we can at least start the process for you and get it set up. So what you'd want to do is that you'd want to look at all your different email addresses that you have and forward them to your new G Suite email. Okay. That way, everything's going to your one email. You can set up filters and rules, and I can talk about a whole bunch of different things, but you can set up filters and rules so you're not inundated. I've got apps, again, on my resource page. SaneBox is one of my all-time favorite apps for managing your inbox. Excuse me, it's SaneBox, right? I've used SaneBox. I don't even know how much it costs, because when I love an app, I will only recommend apps that I love on my resource page. And if I don't love it, it's not going on there. SaneBox is one that I cannot live without. So check out SaneBox if your inbox is overwhelming. I know that you'll probably be shocked, but my email inbox is generally not more than 10 or 15 emails. Is that cool? Is yours? Because I think it's overwhelming when you have thousands and thousands of emails that, you know, mine are all organized in a proper folder format. If it's a client, it goes into the client folder. If it's a newsletter, it goes into newsletter folder. Like, they all go into different folders. So just FYI. So we forward our emails, right? Then what happens is, with the Google G Suite email set up properly, and again, I have to preface everything with, I've been doing this for 20, couple decades, right? I understand when things are not working, what's going on, how you integrate, what you need to do to integrate. So if everything's set up properly, you update that phone, it updates your CRM, your iPhone, your tablet, your wireless devices, your computer, and back the other way, right? So everything is talking to each other. And I really like, it's so amazing when it works. And oh, Frank, see, and you know, I love what I do. So Frank, thank you. He just said, best thing I ever done with the business level was have Darci migrate everything to the next level. Thank you so much. I loved working with you guys. Here's the thing. I have the best clients in the world. Thank you, Frank. I really do, because I love helping you. I try and make it like this. I'd really try and not make it confusing and complicated. Some of the stuff I'm doing is, you don't need to know what I'm doing as long as it works in the end, right? But I want to give you the benefit of, you could try and do some of this stuff yourself, or you can have me help you. It'll be faster. Okay. Thank you, Frank. Again, we want to talk about that email client, because people say things to me, and and if you work with me, I'll say, okay, say that again. Okay, no, you're saying it, but this is actually what you mean in the terminology. So I always get people saying the wrong thing about email and how their email's set up. So I'm going to talk one more time. These are viewers of email only. They're not your email. Outlook and Macmail are viewers. Spark email, Gmail email app, Outlook email app, whatever comes native with your devices, whatever you're using, they're just viewers of the headquarters. Thank you, Shirley, if you're here. If you log on with Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer or Edge or whatever you're using, those are just viewers of the headquarters, okay? They're not the actual email. You're only using these pieces of software to view your stuff. Does that make sense? Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'm almost done. Sign up for G Suite. I'm going to whip through this. I don't want to, I just want to get, okay, hold on. I want to talk quickly about CRM. I'll be out of here in 5 minutes. I'm sorry I went on and on. Don't import Outlook Sync. Here's the other thing I have to talk to you. Thank you, Ray. If you have to go, that's okay. Ray, put in the link. You'll also get an email. If anyone says import your stuff into your CRM, I cringe and say they want your business, so they'll help you, but you should be able to integrate. So you go into the integrations and say, no, sync with, and there is almost always a thing that says Outlook Sync. Here's the thing where hi Shirley, here's the thing where I cringe, because people, if you're syncing with Outlook, that's a third party. They don't mean Outlook up here in the cloud. Not yet. I don't know why Microsoft isn't as open as Google. What they mean is Outlook desktop software. So it's going to sync with that third party, with a third party tool on your desktop. I don't ever like that. It should sync directly with the headquarters, my friend Shirley. I love that term, with the headquarters. That's what Google does. Okay. Will it work with Outlook Sync? Yeah, but I would never recommend it. Okay, I would never recommend it. Not now. Things change with technology, and maybe in the future, okay? We're going to just rip through this. I'm not going to talk about this again because I talked way too long. Blah, blah, blah. Cloud storage, we did that. I'm not even going to do this. We're just going to get to the CRM. That's it. The CRM side. You need a CRM, and a CRM is a system for managing your clients, really. You can't manage your clients on an Excel spreadsheet. You need to take them from the lead to a closing and integrate G Suite email with that. So you update the contact, it updates the headquarters, updates your iPhone because that has access, your Android, your Windows, your Mac, your whatever, right? Everybody's talking to each other. All right. It's not blah. I'm gonna just whip through this because I think that I've gone over. I talked too much today. I'm very sorry. I gotta cut this down for sure. Again, these are some of the CRMs: Reliance, Top Producer, Wise Agent, Liondesk, Exact. Don't import your contacts. Okay, don't import your contacts. If you've already done it, there is a way for me and maybe them if they understand it. Usually I find they know their software, but they don't know the integration as well as I do, okay? But you can integrate. There's a way on almost all CRMs to say, turn on synchronization with a CRM that you're using. I like Realty Juggler, but if you have any CRM that you're using, great, and have it integrate with your business email. I like Realty Juggler just because it's relatively inexpensive. It's not $99 anymore. Sorry, the price went up to $179 a year. That's not bad. Okay, I got to change that slide, Ray. Can we change that slide? Every CRM should sync with G Suite, so you only have to update one location. Send bulk emails to people. Do drip campaigns, prospective buyers at open houses. Like, you should be able to set up all this stuff. All CRMs do something similar, okay? We do a 10-year drip. Can you imagine 10-year drip? So if you're an RJ user, I actually sell it now. We do a 10-year drip for people. So what that means is that over on possession date, they get every year, they get an email about possession date. Then they also get, the agent gets a reminder to say, hey, call the people. Then there's 2 or 3 more touch points throughout the year. Not about real estate, it's about value-added services, okay? Love it. So here we are. Hopefully, did I help you guys a little bit today? Do you understand it slightly better about why your systems aren't working properly? We covered the domain side of it. And so again, that new extension, .homes, business email, cloud storage, CRM. I really went fast on the CRM side of it. Is there any questions? Let me just, is FileStream part of G Suite Business or a separate purchase? Oh, Dean, what a great question. Okay, any questions? Please put it in now while we're still here. How FileStream works, FileStream is part of the paid version only. Okay, I believe FileStream also comes with the $7 plan now, what's called the business. There's basic and business. I believe it comes with both. What doesn't come with the basic plan is the team drives, which is kind of a cool, you might want to do a little research on the difference between team drives and regular drives, because Ray and I use team drives. It's amazing. Okay, no questions? No questions. If you want me to speak at your event or your brokerage or by webinar, love to. It's on my website as well. Our next webinar, I'm going to talk a little bit more about, can you tell I like Google? I'm going to talk about all Google. I'm going to go over this again in a little tighter format, and also talk a little bit about Google Docs and how I love it and how we use it and some other stuff, all Google related. Okay. I want to thank our sponsor again, Remax, Crest, amazing. So let's just thank them and listen to this very, very short video again. And you'll get a autoresponder.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the webinar. If you'd like more information about the systems we have in place that will make an impact in your business, get in touch.
Thanks, Cassidy. She's great. Absolutely great. Okay, so we're going to do a draw now. And I don't know, I know some of you probably already have the membership to my online school, but it's $450 a year. We're going to give you a year's membership, which includes even a private webinars I do monthly just for the people of the school and my private clients. And we talk about just different stuff. It's really great. I love it. Again, darcitalks.tips. You can get all the information about this webinar. And the recording will be in the school. Always the recording will be in the school. Give us like 3 or 4 days, because probably by Tuesday or Wednesday, because Ray has to edit it and, you know, do some things to it. Okay, so how should we do the draw today? I don't know, like the first person that maybe says what they learned on the chat box. No. Okay, whoever is not shy and can actually talk to me, unmute yourselves and talk to me about the value of this webinar today or anything really. I'll give you a 1-year membership. Anybody not shy? Ray, can they unmute themselves? They just don't want to.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Okay, nobody wants to win. Dean, are you at the marketplace at Remax Convention? Are you talking about the one in Banff? I'm not sure if you're talking about the one in Banff. I actually am speaking at the one in Banff. I'm super excited about that. Oh, Las Vegas. You know what, Dean? Please put in a good word. I have tried for about 7 years to try and speak at that conference, and they only want agents. I don't know why. I can never get in. How do I unmute? Oh, you guys. Ray, how do they unmute themselves? I don't even know, because I'm not, I know how to unmute me. There should be a little on the bottom. There's a little microphone that you can just tap on mute or unmute. Okay, if you can't figure it out, whoever types in something in the chat asking a question, next question or comment, go. Come on. This is painful. Usually I do birthdays or something, whoever. Okay, how about whose birthday is the next? Everyone put in their birthday in the chat. Whose birthday is coming up in, what month are we in? April? January? Anna. March? April? Is there any April birthdays? Anybody? Any April birthdays? Any May birthdays? No? Come on, you guys, type in the chat. Unmute yourselves. Do something. No? Your wife's? She doesn't count, Dean. Okay, I think actually, who am I? August 6th. Who's August 2nd? Jean is currently in the closest birthday from today is August 2nd. So if you're not fast enough to type, you guys, I think that Jean won. So awesome. Jean, Ray will send you some information. Maybe Ray, he is admin at darciwithanItalks.com. You can send him info. And actually, I wasn't looking at Facebook. If someone was also typing in Facebook Live, we'll also give it to them. I'm not sure. We'll see. Of course, during the webinar, not after the fact. So I just want to thank you. If you guys have any questions, again, ask now. I think we're good. That's the best email address to reach you. Jean, oh, yeah, Jean and Ray are talking. All right, so let me just whip over here. I think that's it. Deals and special offers you get from me, again, about an hour and a half. I want to thank you again for joining me today. And I guess that's it. I don't see any other questions. I think we covered everybody. I will talk to Cindy at Remax for the team. Oh, please do, because I don't know, it's been so, I really want to speak at that event. And I went for 7 years. We actually missed last year for the first time. And I have a lot to say and I want to share with the agents, but it's just been a difficult. So please tell somebody. I would love it. Dean, just for that, hook me up. You're also got a free membership. Give Dean a free membership as well. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic Friday and we'll talk to you later. Okay. Team event is in 3 days. Oh, February. Oh, I see what you're saying. Before the convention. Who doesn't like going to Vegas? Okay, talk to you guys later. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.